Well, hello from Camp Crazy headquarters. Or should I say Camp Creepy? It is kind of creepy in here. The lighting's a little creepy in here right now. Let me turn on the overhead light here. There we go. That looks better. I don't look quite as ghoulish as I did. I look a little bit ghoulish, but not as much. Anyway, there's Rocky. He's sleeping on his, I don't know what you can see, so I'm moving the phone around. Ooh, there he is. Sleeping on his coat on the bed there. Anyway, I was just thinking of a story from when I was driving a taxi cab in 1990. I drove a taxi cab for about 6 months. That's all I could take. It was horrible. I wasn't very good at it. I was good at the driving, but I wasn't good at the dealing with the people at all. And you see a lot of people at their worst when you're driving a cab. You get a lot of people who just aren't having the best day. And a lot of people who are drunk or high or, mentally ill or whatever. You get a lot of that when you're driving a cab. And I just wasn't very good at it anyway, at dealing with it. But anyway, I'll tell you this story. It kind of illustrates what a piece of crap I am in a way, what a smart aleck I am. But it's also, you might get a kick out of it, I don't know. In 1990, our local jail in town was still on the go, the Perth Jail. It closed up in 1994 for good. It's now for sale, actually. I've shown you videos of it anyway before and stuff, but I've talked about the Perth Jail a little bit before. But anyway, part of our business when I drove a cab is we also did food delivery. We deliver food. We deliver alcohol, too. We deliver different things. We deliver parcels. But a lot of it was food delivery. And, of course, we had a Kentucky Fried Chicken in town. Like every small town has a Kentucky Fried Chicken store. We had one, too. Out on Highway 7 on the edge of town. And, I used to get sent up there quite often to pick up food orders for people. And, of course, we charged them whatever it cost us to buy the food, because we had to pay for the food when we picked it up. Plus, we charged, I think it was like a $5 delivery fee on top of that. Normally, to take a ride anywhere within the town limits in those days was $3.50. That's what we charged anywhere within the town limits. And then after that, we just prorated it depending on how far you were going. If you were going out of town. But within the town limits, it was $3.50 flat rate because we didn't have meters. But anyway, we charged them for the food, whatever it cost us for the order, plus $5 for delivering it, for picking it up and bringing it to them. If they were in town. If it was out in the country, we charged more, because obviously we burnt more gas and it was more time consuming and all the rest of it. Anyway, here's the thing. There was a guard in the jail. He was a big man. He was quite a heavy-set man. Nice enough guy, but very heavy-set. And his nickname was Chicken. And the reason his nickname was Chicken is because he loved chicken. He was always eating chicken. That was his thing. He was always eating chicken. Anyway, just like Wimpy from the old cartoons was always eating cheeseburgers, well, Chicken was always eating chicken. Anyway, I used to quite often have to go pick up and order a chicken from Kentucky Fried Chicken for chicken at the jail. And, you go in there, he'd have to buzz me in, and you go into one vestibule there where there was a place where the cops, when they came, would have to lock up their service revolvers. And then you went through another door into an area where it was where there was a control room and whatnot, where they had the monitors, the black and white monitors, where they could look at different things going on in the jail. Make sure nobody was stabbing anybody up or anything like that. Anyway, he was sitting in this booth anyway. I'd have to pass him the chicken through a window, and he'd pass me the money anyway through the window back out. But there was this one Saturday where we got a lot of chicken orders. It seemed like I was up there constantly picking up chicken. And I was up there several times. And then we got the chicken order from the jail anyway. The guard up there, chicken, wanted his chicken. So I go up to pick up chicken's chicken and take it to the jail. And the manager saw me there. He happened to be walking by and he saw me there and he said, "Oh," he said, "you must really like it here." He said, "You've been here a lot today." And I said, "Well, yeah, I have been." I said, "I've been delivering food." So I'm delivering food orders is what it is. In fact, I said, this order that I'm picking up now, I said, it's going to the jail. "Oh, really?" He said, "It is." I said, yeah, it's going to the jail. I said, "One of the prisoners in there didn't follow jail rules, and they're punishing him by making him eat this stuff instead of the jail food." I said, "They're making him eat this instead." The manager wasn't too happy with me. He gave me a dirty look and he walked away. Then I wonder why people don't like me. I do things like that. But anyway, it wasn't very nice of me, really. I really shouldn't have done that. But still, it gives me a good story to tell now, so there is that. But still wasn't very nice of me. But anyway, that was chicken for chicken. That's what that was about. But yeah, that's just one of many stories anyway from my taxi driving career. I remember one time I picked up this girl at a wedding reception. Now, this girl, now the way it worked is the wedding party was paying for us to take people home. They didn't want people leaving there, inebriated and getting into accidents and stuff. So basically, we'd take the people home. We kept track of everything. We kept records of everybody we took and where we took them. And then we would present them with a bill, after that. And they'd pay us for any trips that we made from their wedding. Well, most people are pretty good. Like, they're not going to take undue advantage. But you always get one. Anyway, and I got this one girl. And she was quite beautiful. She was really pretty. I noticed that right off. But she got in the car. She said, "Take me to Carlton Place. I want to see my boyfriend." Well, anyway, she'd been drinking, She got in the car beside me in the front seat. We head for Carlton Place. They'd said, "Wherever they want to go, you take them there, we'll pay." So I kind of thought it was a little much, really, like she was taking advantage. But still, it wasn't my place to say or to judge. They had agreed that they would pay, um, wherever the people wanted to go. So I'm taking this girl to Carlton Place, which is another town, about a half-hour drive from Perth, up Highway number 7. And about halfway there, she slides across the seat. The old cars had the bench seat. This was a 1984 Buick LeSabre, so it had like the 60/40 bench seat, Anyway, she slid across the seat, and she starts kissing me on my ear, and she says, "We could just pull into a side road somewhere and go in the back," and she said, "I wouldn't have to see my boyfriend." you know. Anyway, I got to admit I was tempted because she was really pretty. And I'm not used to getting that kind of attention from women. Most women have not really cared for me much. I'm pretty sure the alcohol didn't hurt, though. Maybe if she'd been sober, she wouldn't have looked at me twice. But anyway, I didn't do anything about it. I just thought this is just an accusation waiting to happen. Or so. I can see all kinds of bad things happening if I go through with this. So on the one hand, I was really tempted, but on the other hand, I thought this will turn out badly. I just know it'll turn out badly. And so as I was thinking ahead, okay, this is going to be fun for a little while, but it's going to go bad on me. I know it. I just know it's going to go bad on me. So I didn't do anything about it anyway. I dropped her off at her boyfriend's. And about a month later, I saw the announcement in the newspaper. I recognized the girl, and like I say, she was very attractive. I found her very attractive, very pretty girl. Anyway, I saw the announcement in the newspaper, a picture of her with this guy, that they were engaged. So there you go. Anyway, I don't know if they're still together or not. I wish them well. If they are, I wish them well. If they are, then they're probably going to stay together now, because that was a long time ago. So they've weathered the storms of life if they're still together, and good for them if they are. But yeah, anyway, that's the story. All kinds of wild things happen when you drive a taxi cab. There was one time I had a guy in the car, and his friend. He was sitting in the front, his friend was sitting in the back. He was drunk, and basically what had happened is he'd gotten thrown out of one of the hotel beverage rooms in town, so he wanted to go to another beverage room to continue the drinking. Because he got thrown out of there because he was being a tool, wanting to fight with people and everything. So I get this guy and his friend in my car, and we go a few blocks. Now, I had a habit, because I started out driving the old Free in the Tree standard transmissions. They were a free speed. A lot of the older cars, you never see them anymore, but they were a free speed with a column shifter. So the gear shift was on the steering post, but you had a clutch, and you had to run the thing through the gears. It was a standard transmission. And I had started out driving that stuff, and I had a habit of resting my hand on the gear shift when I drove. Because the car I was driving was an 84 Buick LeSabre. It was an automatic transmission, but it had a column shifter too. So I'd have one hand on the wheel and the other hand on the gear shift. Well, just something I'd gotten into the habit of doing. It isn't really a good habit, but I had gotten into the habit of doing that anyway. Well, this guy, we're going down one of the main streets in town, and it's bumper-to-bumper traffic, and you can only go as fast as the guy ahead of you, This guy was anxious to get to the next beverage room so he could continue his drinking, maybe get into a fight or something, who knows? He could always hope for that, I guess. But anyway, he, what did he do? He reached across, and he knocked the gear shift lever straight up in the park. He said, "Get this thing into second gear. What's wrong with you?" Well, straight up, ahead and straight up is second gear in a what they call a Free in the Tree. In a standard with a column shifter, that is second gear. But in an automatic, that's park. Threw the car in the park, locked up the transmission. It's a wonder he didn't destroy the transmission, really, because you can, doing that, you can destroy an automatic transmission. Anyway, all hell broke loose. And I had to get the car out of park. And then now I'm basically hitting him with one hand because he's trying to take control of the car away from me, and trying to drive the car with the other in heavy traffic on one of the main streets in town, bumper-to-bumper traffic. Anyway, I got him to the hotel where he was going. He got out of the car, and he said, "I'm not paying you because you were rude to me." And then he kicked the driver's door, put a big dent in it, and he horked and spat on my windshield. That was fun. Anyway, this is the stuff we used to get into anyway. It turns out that guy had a pickup truck that had a Free in the Tree transmission in it, and I guess he figured because I was riding around with my hand on the gear shift that the car was also a Free in the Tree, but it wasn't. And, yeah. And even if it had been, throwing it in the second gear without disengaging the clutch wouldn't be good for a standard either. That would tear up a standard transmission pretty good. So, you don't do things like that. And when you're riding in a car anyway, you don't mess with the driver like that. But of course, when people are drinking, all the rules go out the window pretty quick, and I encountered a lot of that when I was driving a cab. Anyway, that's just some stories of my cab driving days. I'll talk to you later. As you can see, or maybe not, I don't know, Rocky's still asleep on his coat. He loves that coat, he does. It's one of his prized possessions. All right, bye for now.